Well, tomorrow marks the start of the new financial year and, as always, business will be facing some new rules and regulations. We covered the biggest, paid parental leave, on last night's program, but as Andrew Robertson reports, there are more where that came from.
It's taken longer than planned to arrive, but the start of the new financial year marks the start of a new research and development tax credit.
The benefits to a small group like us is it frees up cash to direct into new innovation initiatives and directly into R&D spending that we wouldn't be able to commit to otherwise.
The R&D tax credit will provide a 45% refundable tax offset for companies with a turnover of less than $20 million. Bigger companies will get a 40% non-refundable tax offset. It replaces the old system of tax deductions and will be of particular benefit to Australia's growing biotech sector because smaller companies will effectively be paid for their research and development.
The name of the game in start-up businesses is all about available cash. And you're continuously on a roller coaster of raising spending. This allows you to run longer with the funds that you've got in hand and to develop the next milestone, be it a clinical trial outcome or a research and development outcome.
But despite being pleased with the changes, Raymond Wood believes they're being undermined by the way the government has handled them.
As a managing director looking after next year's budget, I'm setting next year's budget. I do not know right now what the definition of eligible R&D is likely to be or how it's to be interpreted.
The not-for-profit sector also finds itself under the new financial year legislative microscope, with a change foreshadowed in the May federal budget. Income from commercial activities which is not directed back into an NFP's core social type work will now be taxed.
Clearly, if you impose tax, and not just income tax, but also potentially GST as well as fringe benefits tax on some of their unrelated commercial activities, it could have quite a devastating impact on their capacity to provide the community with those integrally important services and functions that we take for granted at the moment.
And like Cell Therapy's Raymond Wood, Yasser El Ansari is also not impressed with the government's lack of attention to detail.
There is a need for the government to provide not-for-profits with sufficient detail to allow them to be able to make decisions effective from tomorrow that could potentially have quite a significant impact on the range of activities that they provide to the community. I think that's important, and that is missing at the moment.
For companies operating in Victoria, the 1st of August will see a toughening of that state's Equal Opportunity Act, which will see the onus fall on employers to actively stamp out all forms of discrimination in their workplace.
There are also some adjustments to the requirements for employers to make reasonable adjustments for employees with impairment. And, of course, there are also changes to the definitions of direct and indirect discrimination, which may make it easier for an employee to evidence a claim of discrimination.
One change which starts tomorrow, which nearly all employers say is bad for business, is the $19.40 a week increase in the national minimum wage.
We're concerned that it may really impact the bottom line of small and medium enterprises and may in fact be yet another hammer blow to businesses being able to operate in the current fiscal uncertainty.
Businesses need to adjust their payroll systems to make sure they pay the higher wages. They also need to take out more tax because the federal government's controversial flood levy also starts tomorrow.